Leo souls, your path to millionaire status may begin with 6 divine numbers that are already aligning with your energy between September 10th and 12th. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't a game of chance, it's a cosmic settlement. The universe has been watching your quiet resilience, your unwavering courage, and now it's preparing to release a flow of wealth, healing, and power in your direction. If you're watching this, it's not by mistake. Something larger than logic has guided you here. And I want you to feel that in your spirit, not as a coincidence, but as confirmation. You are standing at the edge of a powerful energetic exchange. What's coming to meet you over the next 3 days is both precise and sacred, 6 numbers that carry the vibration of abundance, alignment, and emotional clarity. Think about it. Have certain numbers been following you around lately? Have you been dreaming vividly? Feeling called to rest more, simplify more, surrender more? That's no accident. That's preparation. And if you felt that deep stirring inside, this sense that life is about to shift drastically, this message is for you. During this sacred window, as the sun approaches Mercury in Virgo, your clarity sharpens. You begin to see the patterns hidden in plain sight. The moon's trine to Uranus will stir up unexpected wealth, while the Leo-Aquarius axis activates your stage presence, your visibility, your power to receive. These planetary alignments are not random. They form the cosmic blueprint behind your breakthrough. And those 6 numbers? They're not just digits. They are living codes, frequencies that echo your effort, reflect your loyalty to your path, and respond to the self-work you've already done. They aren't here to test you. They're here to reward you. Now take a moment to breathe, Leo. Let your shoulders drop. Let your heart remember that it's safe to expect miracles. Safe to be seen. Safe to receive. Safe to rise. I want to pause here and sincerely thank you for being present. Every time you watch, like, comment, or share, you are breathing life into this sacred space. You are helping these messages reach the ones who need them. And more than that, you are anchoring abundance in your own life. Your energy matters here. Your presence makes this real. So before we go further, I invite you to make a declaration in the comments below. Not a wish. A decision. Right, I confirm my alignment. I'm ready to receive. Then, if one of the 6 numbers in this message calls to your spirit, type it in the comments too. There is power in naming what you're open to. You don't need to chase your destiny, Leo. You just need to say yes when it arrives. And believe me, I will want to stay with me until the very last minute of this message, because what the universe is revealing next is unlike anything you've seen before. Let's begin. Leo, you've already taken the courageous first step by showing up. And as we continue, you're not just listening, you're remembering. Deep inside, you've always known that certain seasons in your life are more than ordinary time theory portals. Number 21 is one of those sacred codes, a symbolic threshold that invites you to not only receive but to reclaim. This number doesn't knock loudly. It whispers. It arrives like a soft nudge on your spirit, a golden hush before the breakthrough, signaling a divine return of what was once lost. In astrology, the vibration of 21 aligns powerfully with the expansive nature of Jupiter, often called the Great Benefic, not because it hands us gifts, but because it widens the field. Jupiter doesn't throw riches at your feet without purpose. It invites you to stretch, to become large enough to hold what's coming. That's what this number is doing in your field right now. It's telling you that the financial delays, the missed investments, the moments where you wondered, why did the abundance pass me by? They were never rejections. They were redirections. And now, the path is curving back to meet you, because you've grown enough to carry what once would have overwhelmed you. Energetically, number 21 sits in your solar plexus, right where your confidence, decision-making, and worth live. But it also gently pulses in the liver, the organ responsible not just for physical detox, but for storing unresolved anger, bitterness, and resentment. That's why, Leo, your body may have been feeling heavy lately. Not just tired but emotionally clogged, energetically stuck. And you can't talk your way through that. You have to release it. Not to dismiss the pain, but to make space for something better. Something cleaner. Something that reflects your current worth, not your past wounds. Spiritually, this is the moment when the seed that's been planted deep in dark soil begins to break the surface. And not because it fought its way out, but because it was time. The financial rebirth represented by number 21 is subtle at first. A phone call. A refund. A contract that reappears. But behind the scenes, it's a deep karmic correction. It's the universe saying, I did not forget the offerings you made in silence. And if you've ever found yourself waking up with a quiet ache in your stomach, not from fear, but from waiting, know that you're not alone. Many of us walk through seasons where we carry invisible burdens and hidden gifts all at once. But number 21 reminds you that healing is not just about moving forward. It's about returning to the part of you that once believed it was safe to receive without guilt, to expand without fear, to be fully visible in both your strength and your softness. Now is the time to detox not just your body, but your story. Let the warm lemon water be more than a routine. Let it be a ritual. A sacred act of telling your system, we're safe now. You can let go. Forgive yourself for the financial decisions made in survival. Release the weight of ancestral patterns that whispered, there's never enough. Breathe into your belly and remind your cells, there is more than enough for me. I am more than enough for it. Even in scripture, we are reminded that God restores the years the locusts have eaten. That restoration doesn't always come in dramatic flashes. Sometimes it returns slowly, wrapped in small moments that feel too gentle to be called a miracle, but they are. Number 21 is your miracle unfolding quietly, lovingly, lawfully. Your only task is to say yes to it. Not with grasping, but with grace. And now, beloved Leo, I ask you to pause, place your hands just below your ribs and breathe. This is where your worth lives. This is where abundance knocks. This is where number 21 has come home. You don't need to chase it. Just open. Just allow. Just receive. There's something profoundly sacred about the timing of number 44 entering your field, Leo. If number 21 was a gentle opening, a warm morning light after a long night, then 44 is the firm but compassionate hand that keeps you from stepping into danger just before it strikes. It's not here to thrill or dazzle, it's here to shield. And in that quiet protection, there is an intelligence that surpasses reason. This number, encoded with the energy of Uranus, the planet of sudden awakening and divine interruption, asks you to reconsider the moments you labeled as delays, denials, or disappointments. What if they weren't rejection? What if they were rescue? In financial terms, number 44 is that intuitive whisper that says, wait. That gut feeling that something about this deal, this purchase, this leap doesn't feel quite right. And it's not fear. It's discernment. For a sign like Leo, so naturally bold and heart-led, it's easy to rush toward what looks promising, to follow the shine without pausing for the signal. But this frequency reminds you, even a lion needs cover from the storm. Even royalty needs a moment to retreat, to listen. You see, Uranus doesn't always warn with thunder. Sometimes it reroutes gently. A sudden change in schedule. A project falling through. An opportunity you were certain would open quietly disappearing. It can feel like failure. It can sting like rejection. But 44 tells a deeper story. It says, this detour just saved you from depletion, emotional, financial, energetic. And in a world where ambition often outruns alignment, learning to pause is a radical act of self-respect. On the physical level, this energy nests itself in the heart space. Not just the beating organ but the emotional core of your being. And if you've been feeling heaviness in your chest, tightness in your breath, or a subtle tension in your shoulders, your body may be trying to speak before you say yes to something your spirit isn't ready for. When your heart feels clenched, when restlessness rises at night or fatigue drops in out of nowhere, that's not just stress. That's spiritual static. The body, your most loyal compass, is alerting you to slow down. To preserve energy. To protect your sacred yes. Number 44 is not a passive shield, it's an intelligent force. A fierce gatekeeper that only opens for what resonates with your evolution, not just your ego. And it's here to help you honor the sacred currency of your focus. Because in this season of energetic refinement, it's not about how much you do, it's about how deeply aligned your actions are with your truth. The world might pressure you to keep moving, to seize every chance. But 44 says, pause until it feels peaceful. If you have to push too hard, it's probably not for you. This number invites you to become a guardian of your own resources, not just money, but time, presence, and trust. It reminds you that not everything that glitters is gold, and not everything that stalls is lost. Just like a heart skips a beat before a surge of emotion, your journey may hesitate before it breaks wide open. So when a door closes this week, Leo, don't mourn it too quickly. When an opportunity shifts, when a conversation doesn't flow, when your instincts say, hold, listen. What you're being protected from may never be known. But the peace you preserve, the energy you retain, and the lessons you integrate, those are real gains. In fact, they're the kind of wealth that no market can measure. And if you feel called, breathe deeply into your chest right now. Imagine a circle of light surrounding your heart, not as a wall, but as a filter. What belongs to you will never require you to compromise your peace to receive it. Let that be your new standard. That's what number 44 is here to teach. After walking through the protection of number 44, Leo, we step now into a different kind of calling, one that doesn't guard, but grows. The presence of number 12 in your energetic field is like the first leaf sprouting through rich soil after a long winter. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It simply knows that this is the time to begin again. Gently. Intentionally. Consistently. And perhaps most beautifully without struggle. In the realm of astrology and numerology, 12 holds a sacred balance between structure and expansion. Governed by the energy of Mercury, it invites you to awaken your mind, sharpen your message, and align your actions with clarity rather than chaos. Mercury doesn't move through life aimlessly, it calculates, observes, adjusts. And that's what this number is asking of you now, not to work harder, but to work wiser. Not to do more, but to do what is aligned. If you've been holding on to the belief that your next level of abundance requires a grand leap or exhausting hustle, number 12 challenges that old paradigm. It doesn't come bearing pressure. It arrives with precision. It says, your gifts already exist. Your ideas already have value. What you need is a simple shift in focus and the courage to trust the smaller doorway. For many Leos, this is the time to revisit the side project you abandoned. The creative outlet you shelved. The conversation you've delayed. Whether it's freelance work, teaching what you know, or selling something handmade, this isn't about starting from scratch. It's about activating what's already in your hands. On a physical level, number 12 connects to your digestive system, not just your ability to process food, but your capacity to metabolize stress. The gut is sometimes called the second brain, and for good reason. It doesn't just break down what you eat, it breaks down what you feel. When you rush through meals, suppress anxiety, or silence your intuition in favor of productivity, the stomach holds it all. If you've been experiencing bloating, heaviness, or even a subtle sense of internal clutter, this number is reminding you, digestion is not just physical. It's emotional. It's energetic. This is why something as simple as slowing down your meals, taking probiotics, or sipping warm tea with mindfulness can become acts of alignment. These rituals aren't trivial. They are sacred. They signal to your body, I am present now. I am choosing ease. I trust the pace of grace. From the perspective of energy work and self-healing, number 12 whispers of integration. It asks you to stop fragmenting your energy between what pays the bills and what feeds your spirit. It encourages you to find the overlap, the sweet spot where your talents, your truth, and your time meet. And for you, Leo, whose heart burns with creativity, this is a profound turning point. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need to be ready in the perfect sense. You only need to begin. And perhaps the most important message from 12 is this: doing things right does not mean doing them big. When you act from alignment, even the smallest effort becomes magnetic. The world doesn't need more noisy, it needs more truth. More clarity. More of your authentic voice. That's what Mercury amplifies. And when Mercury is aligned in your chart, doors don't open from force, they open from resonance. So if you've been waiting for a sign to start again, to simplify your path to income, to reclaim your health from anxiety and burnout, this is it. Number 12 isn't asking you to stretch yourself thinner. It's asking you to come back to the center. Come back to what works. Come back to what's true. You're not here to chase your purpose. You're here to build it into the rhythm of your life. And it starts with one clear, aligned decision at a time. When number 30 enters your life, Leo, it does not come with fireworks or noise. It enters like a steady breath in a chaotic room, subtle, grounding, undeniable. If number 12 called you to begin, and number 44 asked you to pause, then number 30 is where you remember how to stand tall. This number is a quiet architect. A builder of inner scaffolding. It brings your awareness back to structure, not as something that cages you, but as something that sets you free. And this is where healing and manifestation begin to merge. Astrologically, number 30 vibrates with the presence of Saturn, often misunderstood as the planet of hardship or delay. But Saturn isn't here to punish you. It's here to strengthen you. It teaches through form, through discipline, through the long game. And in the context of this number, it's asking you one simple question: what are you building that will last? In terms of your finances, number 30 is the moment you pause to reassess, not from a place of lack, but from wisdom. It's not about restriction. It's about realignment. You're being asked to revisit the way you allocate your resources, not just your money, but your energy, your focus, your loyalty. Has your spending reflected your highest values? Have your financial goals become outdated versions of who you once were? Now is the time to recalibrate your direction with clarity and devotion, not fear. Budgeting under this energy becomes a sacred act, an expression of trust in your future self. Physically, this number resonates deeply with your spine. And that's not metaphorical. Your spine holds not only your posture but your stories. Every time you've bent to fit into someone else's expectations. Every time you've slouched beneath invisible burdens. Every time you've stiffened up to appear strong when all you needed was support, your body remembered. The discomfort in your back, the tension across your shoulders, the subtle fatigue that feels like gravity isn't just physical. It's energetic. Your spine is asking to be honored. To be realigned. Not just through yoga or massage, but by reclaiming your stance in life. When you sit or stand with your spine upright, not in rigidity but in strength, you're reminding your nervous system that you are safe. That you are capable. That you are home inside yourself. And that, Leo, is the posture of wealth. Of leadership. Of sovereignty. Energetically, this number draws you inward, toward the internal structure of your beliefs. Have you built your goals on solid ground, or on emotional urgency? Have you been chasing milestones just to avoid stillness? Saturn, through number 30, asks you to root yourself. To deepen your why. Because the manifestation you're calling in requires a container strong enough to hold it, not just attract it. And yet, there's something profoundly therapeutic about this kind of grounding. For many who feel stuck in anxiety, distraction, or even a subtle sense of spiritual dizziness, number 30 brings back the rhythm. It's not fast. It's not flashy. But it's real. It reminds you that a powerful life isn't built overnight, it's sculpted, one conscious decision at a time. So as you move forward, think of your routines not as cages, but as devotion. Let your financial reorganization become an act of honoring your future. Let your physical alignment reflect your energetic boundaries. Let your posture say, I am ready to hold what I once only dreamed of. Because true abundance isn't just about receiving, it's about being able to sustain what arrives. And Leo, you weren't made to burn bright and burn out. You were made to build something enduring with your heart, your hands, and your spine aligned. Let number 30 be the foundation you choose to stand on. Not because you have to, but because it's finally time. Number 8 does not enter quietly. It arrives like the echo of something ancient, something that was buried in your bloodline long before you ever took your first breath. And yet, it doesn't come to haunt you. It comes to free you. This number doesn't just speak of money, Leo. It speaks of the root of your relationship with money, and the silent contracts that may have been written across generations. Contracts of scarcity, contracts of sacrifice, contracts where love was proven through lack. Number 8 is the frequency of reclamation. It does not ask you to fight. It asks you to remember. When you carry the weight of ancestral beliefs about abundance, whether spoken or absorbed through energy, you may find yourself constantly working hard, yet barely getting ahead. You may notice that every time you receive, something unexpected pulls it away. Or that guilt creeps in when life becomes too easy, as if success must be earned only through exhaustion. This isn't your fault. But it is your invitation. Number 8 opens what I call the ancestral gateway, a point of energetic access where your healing ripples backward, as well as forward. When you allow yourself to break the pattern, you do so not just for yourself, but for those who came before you and those who will follow. This is also why the body becomes involved. The adrenal glands, your internal alert system, begin to flare when you're operating under chronic stress, especially the invisible kind. The kind that comes from proving yourself worthy of survival, or love, or stability. Your body holds that narrative like a drumbeat: work harder, be stronger, never stop. But the medicine of 8 is not in doing more, it's in pausing long enough to feel safe. Your nervous system cannot receive what it's still bracing against. That's why, during this season, rest is not laziness, it's reprogramming. Each time you choose calm over chaos, you tell your body, we are no longer living in the shadow of fear. We are no longer running from ghosts. From a financial perspective, number 8 is the archetype of infinity turned upright, a symbol of flow that loops back what once seemed lost. You may begin to receive unexpected gifts, delayed payments, or even wisdom passed down through a mentor, a guide, or a message that seems to come from nowhere but lands exactly where your soul needs it. These blessings are not just resources. They are reminders. Proof that when you stop aligning with lack, abundance doesn't need to be chased. It arrives. And here's the deeper truth: wealth, in its truest form, is not just about the numbers in your account, it's about the energy you feel when you wake up in the morning. Do you feel safe to be seen? Do you feel supported when you exhale? Do you trust that you are allowed to have more than just enough? These are the questions number 8 asks. And your honest answers will begin to shape the vibration of what shows up next. So, Leo, as you stand here now, holding both the torch of your fire sign lineage and the legacy of those whose names you may not even know, ask yourself, what ends with me? What patterns, what beliefs, what unspoken rules are no longer worthy of my energy? You do not heal ancestral scarcity by denying yourself. You heal it by thriving. By choosing differently. By becoming the one who says, this lineage includes abundance now. This family tree holds fruit again. Let number 8 be a symbol not of struggle, but of strength, one rooted in grounded receiving, not relentless striving. Trust that you were never meant to inherit pain without also inheriting power. And now, in this very moment, is your chance to reclaim both. Not just for yourself, but for everyone whose heart once beat toward a freedom they could only imagine. You are that freedom now. Let yourself live like it. There's a moment quiet, nearly imperceptible, when something inside you stirs without explanation. A sudden stillness in the middle of chaos. A name that pops into your mind. A sensation in your chest when you hear a specific word, or see a certain number appear again. This is how number 27 arrives, not with thunder, but with precision. It doesn't rush in shouting its purpose. It hovers, gentle and consistent, until you finally pause long enough to hear it. Leo, you've already walked through the fire. You've endured the weight of proving yourself in visible ways. But number 27 doesn't care how loud your achievements are. It cares about how deeply you're willing to listen. This number tied to the star Sirius, long revered by ancient civilizations as the spiritual sun behind our physical sun, ushers in a phase of cosmic messages, energetic nudges, and subtle confirmations. But these messages won't speak through logic. They arrive through intuition. Through the part of you that's been quieted by noise, dulled by digital distractions, or second-guessed by past betrayals. Number 27 is the invitation to return to your inner knowing. Financially, it often precedes a breakthrough that comes from information in email you almost overlooked, a conversation that shifts your direction, or a call that opens a door you didn't even know existed. But the key here isn't the information itself, it's your readiness to recognize it. To believe in the divine timing of what crosses your path. To move, not with force, but with flow. And because this number sits within the energetic field of the pineal gland, the third eye communicates most clearly when the body is still. That's why now, more than ever, your nervous system must be calmed. Your screen time reduced. Your mind cleared. Not to escape life, but to re-engage it more truthfully. When you quiet your environment, you heighten your perception. You begin to distinguish between what is real and what is residue. Between fear and instinct. Between old stories and soul instructions. It's no surprise that your body might be calling for a shift. Headaches. Eye strain. Insomnia. A deep craving for silence. These aren't just symptoms of stress, they're signs that your energetic center is overwhelmed with shoulds and starving for sacred stillness. Even 10 minutes a day, sitting with your breath, palm resting over your forehead, can activate the circuit that allows intuition to reach you again. Not as an external voice, but as the familiar inner whisper you forgot you could trust. This is also where number 27 becomes radically empowering. Because it reminds you that intuitive clarity is not something you earn, it's something you've always had. But trust, like a muscle, must be used to stay strong. If you've been ignoring those little gut pulls, dismissing your hunches, or overriding your own inner truth to please others or fit old identities, this is the turning point. This is your moment to say, I will listen again. I will believe what I feel before I believe what I fear. And when you Hen, you lean in, not out, you'll begin to notice synchronicities aligning like breadcrumbs. The money doesn't just appear, it arrives at the exact moment your heart says yes to your deeper path. The opportunity doesn't just knock, it comes when your energy is finally congruent with your intention. You no longer have to hustle your way into alignment. You get to feel your way there. Number 27 is not just about receiving guidance, it's about remembering that you are already guided. You don't need to look outside for every answer. The clearest signal is the one within you, waiting patiently for the noise to fall away. This is not about doing more. It's about tuning in more deeply to what's already been calling you home. Let this number be your confirmation. The path is open. The message is on its way. And your spirit quiet, grounded, ready, is finally able to receive. Leo, as we bring this message to a close, I invite you to hold everything you've just received not as fleeting inspiration, but as sacred instruction. These 6 numbers, this energetic map, and the divine alignment of September 1012 are not coincidences. They are cosmic confirmations. You are not here to beg the universe for scraps of abundance. You are here to stand tall and receive the fullness of what has always belonged to you. Now, breathe in deeply. Let that breath become a bridge between knowing and believing, between understanding and action, between being inspired and becoming unstoppable. What would happen if you allowed this message to not just move you but move through you? What shifts when you stop asking, "Is it my turn yet?" and start declaring, "It's already happening for me"? This is your invitation to turn spiritual insight into embodied practice. Whether that means waking up tomorrow and journaling your gratitude, walking in the morning sun while visualizing your future, or simply checking your bank account with a peaceful heart rather than an anxious one, each act is a declaration. Each step is a seed. And what you plant in presence, Leo, will bloom in alignment. You don't need to wait until the stars are perfect. They already are. You don't need to become more. You simply need to remember who you are underneath the noise. The child of fire who never truly dimmed, the soul that knows how to lead with both courage and compassion, the one who came here not to survive but to shine. And now, as this 3-day window opens, you're being asked to choose. Will you remain on the edge of your breakthrough, or will you step boldly into it? If even one number in this reading stirred something in you, if a single phrase wrapped itself around your intuition like it had been waiting for you all along, don't let it slip by. Declare it. Anchor it. Comment below and say, "I confirm my alignment. I choose number _____. Tell the universe you're not just watching passively, but participating intentionally. What if the only thing standing between you and your next miracle is your decision to believe it's already here? And if this message spoke to your soul, if it reminded you of your truth, or helped you feel just a little more seen, heard, and understood, then please take a moment to support this space. Like this video. Share it with someone whose heart might be reaching for hope. And make sure you're subscribed to Eternal Mindfulness, where we go beyond surface-level predictions and enter into spiritual transformation. This isn't just a channel. It's a sanctuary. A place where energy is honored, not exploited. Where wealth isn't just measured in numbers, but in clarity, connection, and courage. So Leo, thank you. From the deepest part of my spirit, thank you for being here, for showing up with your heart open. Your presence is felt. Your energy is sacred. And your journey matters more than you know. The numbers have spoken. The energies have aligned. Now it's your turn to respond with trust, with tenderness, and with the quiet power of someone who finally realizes. You were never waiting for a miracle. You are the miracle. And this is your time. So tell me, what number called you home today?